Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Hey Who fans, and welcome to the Big Blue Box podcast. My name's Gary.
My name's Adam.
And this is episode 24. How are you, good sir?
Yes, I'm not bad at all, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm cracking.
Yeah, we're into the new year now.
Yeah, 2015, our first one, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Episode 1 of 2015, I guess.
That's it. I mean, I love Christmas and all that. I always enjoy it, but I love it when you sort of get into the new year. Do you know what I mean? All that, because it can be stressful, can't it? You know, there's a lot of build up to Christmas and that. I kind of like it when you sort of, it's all done, you've had a good time, you know, you've put on a bit of weight, and then the new year's ahead. Do you know what I mean? I love the fact you're right at the start of a new year, and you know, you can sort of get loads of stuff planned.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's quite stressful, especially when you've got loads of friends and family to go around and sort out, and Christmas presents to buy, and which is why I buggered off to Canada.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't blame you. Yeah. But it's nice. I mean, I've already been looking at sort of, you know, I like to get things planned for the year, so I've got stuff to look forward to, and I've been looking at conventions and stuff, and you know, and things I want to buy but can't afford, and all sorts of things. I love all that. You know, all the new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
It's all very cool.
Yeah, I read you. It's so it's good to start off the new year, get everything rocking and rolling. And actually, talking of conventions, we've booked our first one, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm so excited about this, and seems like a lot of people that I know or listen to the podcast are going to be there as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one.
It's going to be cool, isn't it? So this is Day of the Doctors.
Yeah,
run by 10th Planet. Those guys.
Yeah, I've never been to any of their conventions before. I know they do quite a lot. They do quite a lot of signings and stuff, and I know they do a few of these conventions at this hotel. It's the first one I've been to, run by them.
Me too.
And it's great. It's got Tom Baker's there, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and a few yet to be announced, I think. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, I got my my letter through the post today. Actually, they're not sending tickets out. It's just like a confirmation letter. I got mine today.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
Superb. Did you book any of the photos and autographs, you know, in advance, or were you just gonna do them on the day?
I selected because you get one included with the ticket price.
Yes, and I bet you chose Davros, didn't you?
I did indeed.
David Goodison, is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Because I have to. This will sound awful, but the other guy who's signing, he was in a stage play Doctor Who way back in the day. It sounds awful, but I thought he was dead. when I
thought
saw
he was dead?
I honestly did. When I saw his name, like you get the option to choose which autograph you want included in your ticket. I can't even think what the poor chap's name is. Can you?
Well, if he's alive.
Well, I hope he is, because they're selling tickets to meet him.
Yeah, it was a choice, wasn't it, between those two?
Yeah.
So I'm on the day. I'm probably going to. I really want to meet Peter Davison and get his get a handshake with him and get a photo with him.
So I want to meet. I've met Peter twice actually.
Right.
And I've got 2 pretty ropey photos with him. I'm actually thinking I might just dish out some cash and try and get an actual decent, properly taken photo with him, because he wasn't very happy. He wasn't really in a very good mood the last time I met him.
Who was that?
Peter Davison.
Oh, Peter. So okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of shows in the photograph. He looks really miserable in it. I think I caught him at the end of the day. It was on a very wet and windy day in Milton Keynes, and he just wasn't really in a very good mood at all.
He wasn't feeling you that day.
Not at all. No. The money was snatched out of my hand by his assistant. He sort of signed a thing. I said, "Can I have a picture?" And he was like, He just sort of like, he's just, you know, forcing a grin in it. And also it's quite blurred. So I'm thinking I might get a proper picture with Peter when I go there. Yeah. He can be okay. I've met him before and he was really nice. I think, you know, it's like anyone, you know, everyone has an off day or whatever. But I think, I think you should meet him. I think he's a good one to meet. You've got to meet Tom as well, surely.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. So they're the ones I think I'm going to do just on the day. Just get that. One thing I did hear actually about Peter Davison. I don't know if any listeners can vouch for this, but I heard that he can be slightly grouchy on when he's doing just like solo conventions, and he's just on his own kind of thing. But he tends to be in really high spirits when he's with the other doctors, the other actors.
Right. Yeah.
So that might be a thing there.
Yeah, I think that. And have you met Colin before?
I've met Colin. I've met him once before.
Colin,
yeah.
So you've ticked that box.
Yeah, I think I told you on one of the other podcasts. It was at Collectomania in Milton Keynes.
Oh yeah.
And he was fine with me. He was really nice, but then the person behind me is really grouchy with them for some reason. It was like almost like he flipped a switch and he just went really, really grouchy. Maybe they're like some kind of stalker or I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. He's probably thought, oh, you again, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think he sometimes goes into doctor mode, Colin, because I've met him quite a few times, and I really like Colin, but he can be. Sometimes I've met him, he's been quite sort of abrupt, other times he's been really nice, but he does. I think he's a bit like his doctor. You just have to know how to take him. I think sometimes he says things in a very abrupt manner that are sort of, meant as a joke. I think you just have to know how to take Colin, but he can be a bit irascible. But I'm surprised you're more looking forward to meeting Peter than Tom. I'd have thought Tom would have been top of your list.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I really am looking forward to meeting Tom. I really am. But for some reason, I've watched the last, with the exception of the one that we're reviewing today, a lot of the classic stuff I've watched tends to be Davison for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I guess.
Oh, right. That surprises me.
Yeah,
that does surprise me.
Yeah. So, but no, don't get me wrong. I really am looking forward to meeting Tom.
Yeah,
it's going to be cool. As long as he's in, I heard that he's not in the best shape at the moment. So we'll have to see how he is.
Yeah, when I met him in Brighton a couple of months ago, he was in really good spirits and he looked quite well within himself. But I think in terms of getting around, like he's on a stick and that now. I think in terms of actually sort of getting about a bit, because like everyone who had a photo with him, obviously he was sat down and having the photo and that. But he looked quite well, in himself.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just age catching up with him, I guess.
Oh yes, it does. It does to us all, unfortunately.
The one thing we have to remember, Adam, is that these guys are human beings. They have emotions and feelings like us all.
This is true. Yes, this is true.
Well, they shouldn't. We're paying the bloody money to go there and get a good bloody photo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They're quick enough. It's actually I always think it's the people that are with them. Actually, I sometimes get annoyed if they grab that money at hand before you can even get out your wallet, don't they? They're just pound signs in their eyes. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Just suck it up and take the money.
Yes, take the money. Signed. I'm thinking now of Alex Kingston. How she was horrendous. Like money
really?
snatched away. Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, no, she wouldn't even sign. She wouldn't dedicate it. It was no sort of to Adam or anything like that. No photographs whatsoever. Just a signature. Out, off you go. We were pushed through like cattle when we met her. And I waited again till right to the end of the day, and there was hardly anyone behind me. But it was the same thing. It was like there was no conversation or nice to meet you or anything like that. It was that autograph, go.
See you later.
Take my money. Yeah, out the door. Yeah. But I don't think this one will be like it. I think 10th Planet, because they're it's their own sort of thing. I think they'll hopefully want it to be a good event, and they've done quite a few. I've heard when they have Big Finish there that they're really good events. I have heard that sometimes when it's just 10th Planet they can be a bit unorganised. Somebody told me, but I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I've booked a hotel for the night before.
Oh, you have?
So I'm just going to roll downstairs because the hotel is actually where the convention is. So I'm going to get up as late as possible after having a shower, just roll downstairs, and I'll see you there.
Do you know what? When you said you were booking a hotel, I was really tempted to, because it's not that far from me, so I don't really need to, splash out in a hotel. But I was quite tempted because I know a lot of the other guys that are going are all staying. And I was thinking, but it'd be cool. We could all be in the bar, the night before chatting. But I was thinking, but then we're going to be like, one drink will turn into 20, and then we'll go down, and in the photos we'll all be like bloodshot eyes,
just wasted from the night before.
Yeah, I was tempted though when you said about it. I thought, it would be good. But I think that would be cool. I think there'll be all the Who fans will be there. You're bound to get chatting to loads, and
So let's all meet up at the hotel the night before. We'll have a good old time, and we'll see Adam the next day.
Yeah, and I'll be wide awake, and you guys will all be.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that one. So that's 14th of March. Get yourself over there. Just go to 10thplanetevents.co.uk and you'll be able to find it on there. I'll put a note in the show notes as well, a link, sorry. and we will see you there.
Yes, we will. Look forward to it.
Not long to wait. Haven't been up to anything else, mate. Booking conventions, watching a bit of Who. I got Doctor Who Monopoly.
Oh, I want it. The one with Capaldi on the front.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I haven't opened it yet. Just been staring at the box for a couple of days.
Well, you do, I think, with Monopoly. It's one of those games. I mean, I actually really like Monopoly, but it does take... You need to put aside a good full evening to play it. It's not a game you can just have a quick, half-hour game with, and you've got to have a few people to play it with, haven't you?
You have, yeah.
But yeah, I really wanted that. I thought somebody might have got it me for Christmas. I dropped enough hints, but no, I didn't get it. So now I'm going to have to buy it myself.
You are, mate. Yeah. I picked it up at the Doctor Who Experience. I was there on New Year's Day.
Oh, right. Oh, so you bought it yourself as well?
Aye.
It does look good. I love the cover with, Capaldi and all that. I like it. And you get some proper Tardis or whatever Monopoly pieces with it, don't you? It's not just like, you don't just get the regular horse and hats and all that, do you?
No, got some cool little pieces in there.
Yeah.
And the money as well. Gallifreyan money.
Do you? Oh, all right. Okay.
I think so.
Excellent.
Yeah, looks cool.
I'm sure one of the pieces must be a Sonic, surely.
I don't know. One of them is a TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. No, I definitely want to get this. I was hoping I might find it reduced after Christmas, but I've had a look online and it still seems to be full price. So, is it limited?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I paid. How much did I pay for it? 25 quid.
That's not bad, actually.
I'll
I
tell
think
you
it
what,
was
mate.
about 32.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That shop at the Doctor Who Experience has got some real bargains in there.
Oh, actually, I've got to ask you. I saw your Sonic remote control. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I want that.
Oh,
I
it's so
so
good.
want that. I got merchandise envy when I saw that. When you put that picture on, how much did you pay for that? Because you said you got it for a really good price.
Yeah, I paid £45 for that.
Yes, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, the cheapest I've seen it, I think, is 60 quid.
I was just going to say it's about 60. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bargain.
Oh, I want that.
It's really good as well. The little magnetic stand and the way it just
I
kind of
love
balances.
that.
Oh, it looks awesome. Yeah.
It's like a little Gallifreyan symbol, isn't it? Is that right?
That's it. Yeah, like a little round disc, but it's metal, and it's got some really powerful magnet in it. You just pop it on top, and it just stays there like magic.
Have you set it up yet? Like, have you configured it with your TV?
No, I've played with it because you can put it in like props mode, effects mode. It's called.
Oh, okay.
And but the only thing I've done is accidentally turn the telly off.
Oh, right.
Because you don't have to program it to a telly. It will turn off any TV that it's in a certain range.
I just have visions of you setting it up and pressing the button and like your light going off and then the microwave coming on and then the oven going, just controlling everything except the TV.
Light switches going on and off and everything,
yeah, and your wife going, for God's sake, Gary.
Yeah, she would as well. Yeah.
No, just leave it in the what's it called? The mode?
FX mode.
FX mode.
Yeah.
It's very good though. It actually looks it looks like a proper replica anyway, doesn't it? It's a brilliant thing.
I tell you what, it's really, really good. The actual the colour of the light has gone back to the normal blue now because some of the toys were like this purpley mauve colour.
That's right, yeah.
So it's like the proper blue and it's got loads of sound effects. It's got like 16 different sound effects.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, loads of different ones. It's got like scanning mode, just loads of different modes. Because on the toy you get like 3 different variations you can go through, can't you, every time you press the button.
That's right, yeah.
Whereas this one, you can there's different button combinations. There's like double tap, tap and hold, triple tap, hold and swish, and loads of different stuff. It's very cool.
It does. I want it even more now. Yeah, it does look brilliant. That's a good price as well. I got to get myself down to Cardiff. Actually, somebody commented when you put on Facebook that you were going to the Doctor Who Experience. Somebody put on my Facebook, I think, something like, isn't he taking you with him? Well, I just had visions of you packing me away in a case and, taking me down there.
Come on, Adam.
I said, no, he doesn't now. He's gone without me now.
Well,
I desperately want to go there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we did mention, didn't we, a couple of episodes ago, we might do a Big Blue Box meet-up there later on in the year. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that, mate.
Summertime, when the weather's good.
Yes, right. Yeah, well, yeah. I was just thinking that because I'm looking out the window now and it's pretty ropey out there. So yeah, we'll do it in the summer.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
we'll invite all you guys along.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we'll book the place out for the day.
What do we call it? The big blue box. Jolly Boys outing or something.
Yeah, the big blue box something meeting something of the something.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mouthful.
Doom at the end. Yeah. I'm sure it was Doom. Right. Oh God, we're running behind schedule. Should we land?
Okay, let's land it. Yeah, get it landed.
Oh, pretty smooth, that one.
Yeah, smooth landing. You're getting better.
Yeah.
That's because you've been swooshing about with your Sonic.
With your bloody Sonic. First bit of news. Oh God, I hate opening with news like this.
I know, sad news to start with, isn't it?
But it's important to recognise, the good people.
Definitely.
So unfortunately, Fiona Cumming, who was a director from some of the classic episodes, has passed away, age 77, and she had a really good. I'd only heard of her in the last year or so when I started getting into more of the classic Who. So I've seen her name dotted around on certain DVDs that I've got, and I didn't realise that she's done quite a few episodes actually of Who, the classic stuff.
No, yeah. I mean I knew she'd done a few. I was quite staggered actually by the amount. Is it over 34? Did I read?
Yeah.
Over 34 episodes of Doctor Who, which is incredible actually. I mean, I recognise Fiona Cumming from a lot of the extras on the DVDs, and she always comes across really well on those, on the extras, when they're chatting to her and stuff. And yeah. But that's quite I didn't realise she'd done that many episodes.
Yeah, I thought it was just half a dozen, but yeah, that's really cool. And some Troughton stuff, some Pertwee, and some Davison.
Yeah, I mean, I think because of the extras, I sort of more placed her with the Davison era. I didn't realise she sort of had worked as far back as Troughton's era, the Highlanders, I think it was. I didn't realise she was so involved with Doctor Who that far back.
Yeah, she's worked on a couple of firsts as well. She did the first story which featured Jamie, the
Highlanders.
Troughton's second one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she also did Peter Davison's very first, Castrovalva.
Oh right, I quite like that story. Have you watched that one?
No.
You've got it, but you haven't watched it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get on to that. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Fiona has passed away, but let's remember some of the brilliant stuff that she's done for the classic years. Second bit of news.
This is a good bit of news.
This is cool. The War Doctor. Sir War Doctor. Knighted. The old boy's got a knighthood.
John Hurt. Yeah, that's great.
That's very cool.
Very well deserved. I like John Hurt. I think he's a really great actor, not just because of the War Doctor, although I do love him as the War Doctor. But he's had quite an illustrious career.
He's done loads. He's knocking on a bit now, isn't he?
He must be actually. Yeah.
He's done loads. I think the very first thing I saw him in years ago. I shouldn't have watched it at the time. I was too young, but I remember watching the first Alien movie.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
And the whole Alien chest buster scene and all that stuff. That was quite scary as a kid, but that was the first thing I saw him in.
I think one of my all-time favourite films is probably one of the first things I saw him in. Is The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Which of course, I mean, he's under a load of prosthetics, so you don't really know it's him. But I seem to remember watching that quite young. I was probably too young to watch it as well. And I absolutely love that film. I've always loved it. It does. I am a big softie. It does always get me at the end. I always have to shed a tear at the end of the film. But a brilliant performance. I think it won him a few awards as well.
It did. I
think. Yeah.
It does pull at the heartstrings as well, doesn't it?
Oh yes. Yeah. I think it's based on a sort of true story, but it's a sort of what do you call it? Loosely based, isn't it? I think on a true story.
Yeah.
But he's great in it.
It's an adaptation of a classic story.
And also one of my favourite TV. Well, not my favourite, but. A classic drama which I really love is Naked Civil Servant about Quentin Crisp. He's superb in that. He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's brilliant. Yep. I always thought because he does a really funny voice for Quentin Crisp in it. I always thought, oh, that's a bit over the top. And then you watch the extras and you actually see how Quentin Crisp talked, and you're like, oh, he's spot on. But if you watch it, you sort of think, oh, he's a bit over the top with the voice, isn't he? He's camping up a bit. But no, Quentin was like that. And John Hurt's superb in that. It's a really good drama.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like that one. So very well deserved, I think.
Yeah, and let's not forget his best performance ever, the War Doctor.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Yep. So he was really good in it, actually.
He is.
Really
I mean, the chemistry, the three of them. So I think it's just having him as the older Doctor and just picking up on them being young, but actually not being young, and saying, "Come on, guys, grow up." It just worked brilliantly, didn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So congrats, Mr. John Hurt. Next, filming started yesterday.
Yeah, Series 9 is underway.
Yay.
Does that? I'm waiting to. Obviously, there's been no leaked pictures yet. I know they've only just started, but obviously the pictures will start to leak. I hope we're going to get some location stuff in Series 9. I don't like this studio bound. I don't like things being too studio bound. Right. So I'm hoping, because I was thinking that about the Christmas special. How we did. Do you remember me saying I haven't seen any sort of leaked pictures from it? It's because it was all filmed indoors. So yeah, I like it when we sort of catch a glimpse of them, in costume. And some people hate spoilers. I quite like them secretly. I like to see like a leaked shot of them filming somewhere, and So I'm hoping that we might get a couple. Not too much. I don't want it ruined, but I wouldn't mind seeing the odd sneaky shot taken of Series 9 just to get some excitement going for it.
Yeah. When I say started filming yesterday, we're recording this on Tuesday the 6th, by the way.
Yeah.
So when you listen to this on Friday, it's not that we've recorded, not that they started filming yesterday on Thursday. Monday the 5th, they all got over there and did their thing.
And I wonder when it'll, I wonder because if they're filming this early in the year, does that mean it's going to have do you think it was going to be around sort of Easter time we get the series like we used to have?
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah. Because it was quite late, wasn't it, Series 8? It was August, was it?
It was August, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we might get Doctor Who a bit earlier this year. I think it would be good, actually, to keep the momentum going, because if we have another sort of 7 or 8 month break...
Yeah. So the only thing with that, though, is if it comes out at Easter, when would that finish? July? Would it be June, July? That means we've got a really long break then until the Christmas special.
Yeah, this is true.
So I think it's just swings and roundabouts, buddy.
Yeah, you got a good point there, actually. Yeah, because then, but I just can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm predicting 2 types of photos, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm predicting one of Capaldi and Coleman in a corridor somewhere.
Oh, right.
Which seems to always be the way.
Yeah.
And Capaldi and Coleman somewhere in Cardiff next to a TARDIS signing autographs.
Yes, undoubtedly, yeah. As long as that corridor isn't the same one we've seen in
every episode for the last 2 series.
Yeah, that blimmin' TARDIS corridor that they keep using as Daleks and everything else. I don't want to see that curved corridor again.
They use it for everything.
I know.
It's like they the most famous
put an
corridor.
Extra light on it and think that we won't notice. It's like, no, I know it's the same corridor.
Yeah, because it's got the same shape. Yeah, and they just redecorate it. The set guys, they just redecorate it and put some different lights in there. And
that's right. Spray it silver and think, that's got them.
Yeah, look, we've built another corridor. I was like, no, you haven't.
No, I don't want to see that corridor again. Yeah. Not even in the TARDIS. I didn't like it in the TARDIS the first time, let alone it turning into a Dalek inside of a Dalek.
Yeah. So it's so Series 9 is underway, which is good because we were all scared for a moment that Doctor Who had been cancelled because the ratings were so bad.
Well, if you believe a certain newspaper, yeah.
Yeah. I read something the other day that
they've come out of another classic, haven't they? Another clanger.
Oh, have they?
Oh yeah, I can't remember. There's something about it. Well, the same old thing, the same old article, just sort of redressed, right. Basically just saying that Moffat's been told to rein in the darkness and the time slot and falling viewing figures and all this and same old stuff. Bloody nonsense. Hell. Chip wrapper. Because
I heard that, I read the other day that BBC America, I think it is, they were saying that Doctor Who was like their second most watched series.
Ooh, right.
Like in terms of like overall uptake and stuff.
Oh, that's excellent.
So that's very cool.
That is good, yeah.
Yeah. It just means that you guys will probably get another load of DVDs released before us and stuff like that.
I did. I was thinking it. I didn't want to mention it. I didn't want to get you going, but I was thinking that.
No, I jest. I jest. Fair play to you guys. If you get something early, then fine, whatever.
There's no bitterness there.
No, that's all good. We don't make the show here or anything. It's fine.
I'm not getting involved.
I seriously jest. It's all good. We love our US buddies.
Yeah,
it's all good. So I think that's the news. Is that the news? No, it isn't the news. No. We forgot to mention earlier in the show that as well as starting a new year, it's actually an important year.
Oh, yes, it is.
Isn't it, Adam?
Sorry, yeah. I had to think for a minute. I was thinking, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is an important year. You're right.
Indeed, because 10 years ago, old Eccleston, old Baldy, graced our screens.
Go on, do the impression.
You know what? You were fantastic.
Yeah.
And Whiny Rose, they jumped onto our screens, didn't they?
That's right. So when would this have been? When did it come back?
I think it was the end of March.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, because this was about, that's right, around Easter time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. The end of March, yeah.
I remember being woken up by my dad when they were talking about on the radio. It was all big news. Doctor Who was coming back, and my dad waking me up and saying, Dad, Doctor Who's coming back. And I remember thinking, yeah, because we'd heard it so many times before. But it was amazing, when that, to actually sort of sit there and the first episode rose to air and, for actually to be happening. Because I think even up until that point, there's just this sort of little bit in the back of your mind thinking it's not happening, it's not going to happen. Because we'd had so many sort of false Doctor Who's coming back in the sort of 90s. It was hard to believe it. So it was an amazing day. 2005, wasn't it? Yeah, of course, 10 years when it finally did come back to our screens. And and what roller coaster it's been over those 10 years. There's an awful lot happened in those 10 years.
Wow, huge amount.
Yeah, surely. I know the BBC is saying they're not going to do something at the moment, but surely they will. I mean, even like a retro sort of look back on it is a must, surely.
Well, I think it's quite difficult with Chris Eccleston. He's very reluctant to get involved in anything. So really, it just leaves Billy Piper and Russell T Davies. Really, they're the three main sort of key elements, weren't they?
Yeah, although I could listen to Russell T Davies all day. He's a really funny guy in interviews. I really like Russell. I just think they'd be nice to sort of look back through from the beginning and the sort of story behind it and stuff.
Yeah, it would be cool. If you guys ever listened to episode 1, which was last March actually, you'd probably heard me say that I wasn't even a Doctor Who fan in 2005.
Hard to believe.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I did see a teaser trailer for it. The one that they released back in, I think it was New Year's Day, 2005. The BBC put a teaser trailer out for it. And all it is the Doctor, his famous quote. I'm the Doctor, by the way. What's your name, Ron. And it's like it's got that quote in the background. And then all you
Who's
see...
Ron?
Ron.
Oh, Ron.
Ron.
Actually, I remember this. Yeah, it's when he's running through the corridor, isn't it? And the ball of flame. Yeah, because it wasn't in the episode, but I remember thinking, what a great, it was a great trailer, that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't see them in the trailer. In the teaser trailer, you don't see them. It's just the sound clip. And it's just the TARDIS in the street. And at the end, it just dematerializes. And there's like, it's like some text that says something like, it's almost here. And then you hear the Doctor say that classic line. And then the TARDIS dematerializes and it says, but not yet.
Ah.
And that's New Year's Day, 2005. So I can only imagine how much of a massive fit all Who fans went into at that point.
It was really exciting. It really.
I'm quite jealous, actually, because I would have loved to have been sort of swept up in all that sort of fandom and hype for all that, for Who coming back. Quite jealous.
It's funny, though, because Doctor Who had died down so much. I mean, I'd got sort of friends that were sort of avid Doctor Who fans, for one or two, but it wasn't like now. It wasn't, there wasn't sort of loads of text and chat going around, between fandom like there is now. Well, there probably was, but not with me. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like this big buzz like you'd get now. Like when there's a new Doctor announced, everybody, you're talking to everybody about it. I sort of remember sort of chatting to the sort of 3 or 4 Doctor Who fans that I knew about it, and we were all really excited. And I guess there was lots of little groups of 3 or 4 Doctor Who fans all over the planet, really excited. And I mean, it came back with a bang. It got really good viewing figures, which was important because obviously it had to be a success. That first series had to be a success. Otherwise, it probably would have lasted 1, maybe 2, and would have died off again. So, but it was great. I mean, I remember sitting in my room. I locked myself away and watched it. It was a really exciting moment for it. That first shot of zooming into the Earth, and I was like, oh, here we go. But it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't sort of it wasn't as massive as it is now. I don't think.
No, it's not.
It's sort of the hardcore Doctor Who fans and people tuning in to see what this program was, and a lot of people discovering it for the first time. Actually, I mean, a lot of the sort of guys who listen to the podcast and Geeks Handbag are quite young, and you sort of think they've got into Doctor Who then. These are a new generation, if you like, of Doctor Who fans.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. It's quite exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine, and it's it's one of those it's one of those things where, like you're absolutely right. Nowadays, it's so big, they can't. It's really difficult for them to contain any kind of new. Any news about the show and stuff like that. But I imagine it kind of went calmly under the radar, unless you were a hardcore Who fan.
Yeah, I think it's hard to sort of put into perspective sort of now. But I don't think, I mean, there was a buzz. There was a definite buzz. There was a lot of media about it, which was good. A lot of the sort of media picked up on it because, it had... If you think how the sort of show fizzled out in the 80s and then we had the movie, and that was pretty much it. It was a sort of... It was a bit of an old, they sort of dusted down. Were people still interested in the show? It wasn't. It was a bit of sort of uncertainty, I think. But the media were quite behind it. I remember it was on the radio and everything a lot. There was a lot going on.
Watched the movie last week.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, I saw you put that on Facebook actually.
Don't mind it.
Have you done a review yet? Did you review it before I jumped on?
No.
Oh right, okay. Because I'd quite like to do a review. I've got some thoughts on that one.
We should probably talk about that one, shouldn't we, at some point?
Yeah, we'll definitely get around to doing the movie because I think it's an interesting one. I think.
Lots of discussion on that. So why did we mention the 10th? Oh yeah, so 10th year anniversary this year. We're going to be doing a competition / giveaway.
Yeah.
Nearer the time, so no details yet. Just going to let you guys know it's coming. So just stay tuned to the podcast and Twitter and Facebook and stuff. We're going to have quite a cool giveaway around that time, probably March, early April.
And it won't be a meal with me and Gary in a travel lodge in Cardiff. Because what do they do? That a meet and greet. Imagine people getting really excited. Oh, they're doing a competition, and the prize is a meet and greet at a travel lodge.
People might want that.
No, they might. If you want it, then well, that's a good prize. It's easy enough to organise.
We do charge £20 for signed photos, though.
I'm going to do a John Pertwee. I'm going to say when I met John Pertwee briefly as a kid, he said, "I don't do autographs. I only shake hands." So,
right, okay.
I remember dejectedly walking away. So no, I'll probably sign an autograph
on a napkin.
On a napkin. Yeah. I jest. I tell you, if I was famous, I don't know. You say this. I say this. I probably wouldn't. But I love having my picture taken. I'm terribly vain. If someone come up to me in the street, can I have your picture? I'd be like, yeah, I'd love it. I might get sick of it though, but in my head, I think I'd love it. I never understand why celebrities get so huffy about it because, it doesn't bother me. I love it when people say, "Oh, can I have a picture?" Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Right. So mental note when we meet up to bring the camera.
Bring the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
So yeah, it definitely won't be meeting Adam and Gary.
A meal. Yeah.
Somewhere. Unless you really want that, then let us know. We can maybe work that out. I don't know. But at the moment, it's just going to be a cool giveaway. So we'll give you some more details closer to that time, around March. Yeah,
that's it.
And I think that's going to wrap on news. So our review this week, going right back, classic years.
Yeah, going back.
And what is it, buddy?
We are going to be looking today at the Web of Fear.
But tell me, Doctor, this intelligence, exactly what is it? Well, I wish I could give you a precise answer. Perhaps the best way to describe it is a sort of formless, shapeless thing, floating about in space like a cloud of mist, only with a mind and will.
What's it after? What's it want?
I wish I knew. The only thing I know for sure is that it brought me here.
Brought you here? Yes, been wondering how you got here.
Yes, but I don't think there's any harm in telling you now. I have a craft that travels in time and space.
Oh, come now, Doctor. You can't expect
this craft of yours, this time-space craft. Could it get us out of here?
Yes, but it's at Covent Garden.
What does it look like?
It's a police box.
Oh, really, Colonel?
So, if we could rescue that craft, you could take us out?
Yes, I could, but I have to stay here and finish Travers' work.
Doctor. Miss Travers is feeling all right now. I'd like to see her right away.
Very good, Jerry. Excuse me, gentlemen, please.
He was really cool, Troughton.
Oh, he's great, isn't he? Just love
good.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had this really, really quick, not tempered, but really quick way about him. Like when people ask him questions, or it's almost like he's constantly being interrupted.
Yeah. He just gives a wonderful performance, and
yeah.
I don't know. He's sort of clown-like but serious at the same time. I don't know how he sort of manages to pitch it so brilliantly. Do you know what I mean? He's never over the top clown. I don't know. It's always like there's something bubbling underneath with Troughton all the time. He always looks like he's thinking things through but being a bit silly, and wonderful.
Yeah, he's got this way of delivering really serious, quite important lines, and then having this little grin straight afterwards, and like looking around if anybody saw him grin. I saw him do that a few times in this story, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the bit I love is when he gets the spear thing working under his control, and he does this almost slightly maniacal but controlled laugh. Do you remember that bit? He's sort of like he's really pleased with himself, and he can't contain the joy. And I love that little scene. Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I do love Troughton.
Yeah,
I wish there was more. It's such a shame that his era is so. There's so many missing stories and episodes in his era because he's such a brilliant Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
So this one was February 1968.
Wow.
6-parter. So it wasn't too bad actually. This one, 25 minutes each, and the only kind of downer on it is that I think it's episode 3 that's still missing. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's right.
It is, and you get this sort of telly snap.
Yeah.
With the audio over it. It's a shame actually because episode 3 things are really building up, and it's still watchable, enjoyable, but it does it's such a shame that that's missing because I find the telesnap eps a bit hard I tend to zone out easier with them. Do you know what I mean? I prefer it when they animate the episode.
Right.
I find it easier to sort of watch. I find the telesnaps a bit. I think it's because the pictures are so bad.
Some of them are, aren't they? They're really, really. I mean, it's understandable. We're not going to beat up on those guys too much. They're doing the best they can, I guess, with what they've got. But some of them are really ropey, really grainy and dark, and
yeah. And the other shame about the fact that episode 3 is the only episode still missing is that it's the first episode to feature the brig, Colonel. Nicholas Courtney. It's his first episode, so we get to hear his first appearance, but we don't actually physically get to see it, and that's a shame because obviously the first time we do get to see him is in episode 4, and he's kind of in full swing, as the Colonel, and it's great. I love Nicholas Courtney. I just always enjoy it when he's in Doctor Who. I like the fact that he's sort of pops up now and again later in the series. I just really like Nicholas Courtney as the Brigadier.
He's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
So, okay, plot-wise, what did you think to the story as a whole?
Actually, it's a fairly simple story, isn't it? It's just about them wanting to get the Doctor. It's like one big trap, isn't it, to get the Doctor? And it's funny because I wasn't sure. I'd watched this obviously when I bought it. when it's released last year. I wasn't sure if I'd get time to rewatch it before the podcast, but I did. I watched 3 episodes last night. I watched the following 3 this morning, I'd sort of forgotten that it's such a sort of simple, really plot. It's just sort of, they say it's not revenge, but they just want the Doctor's mind, basically, don't they?
That's it. Yeah.
And then they go sort of in a very roundabout way of getting it by sort of invading the London Underground and London and all that. So yeah.
I thought the same. But the thing is, I quite like that about it. It had this because there is a tendency these days with some of the modern Doctor Who stories to be somewhat complicated. They've got this complex nature about them. It's a bit you have to, if you miss an episode, you can sometimes get a bit lost. And you really have to keep up with what's going on. Yeah. But I find that a lot of the classic episodes, they're just these very cool, just simple stories that just seem to work. All the elements seem to work really well together. Like the supporting cast is really, really good on this one. Troughton gives a great performance. The companions are really good. The setting's really great. The underground, this kind of claustrophobic, atmospheric feel, especially in black and white, it gives it this really cool. Almost horror, almost very classic British horror kind of feel to it, like the old Hammer stuff. Yeah, and it was fantastic. It was really, really, really good. I was a bit unsure before I watched it because this is one of the more recent releases from the lost episodes. I'd read a lot of reviews, and some people were saying, yeah, it's good, but it's showing its age and stuff like that. And I thought, well, that's the appeal for me. That's what makes it so good. I thought as a plot and the story, I thought it was just brilliant. Really, really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it stands out quite well. I think the sets, the underground, incredible. Like, there is a story that they were so convincing back at the time that the London Underground accused them of filming without their knowledge. I don't know how true that is, but I know that's I think it's mentioned on the commentary actually. But the sets do look, they do look brilliant, don't they? That does look like the underground, and I think it's because it's so sort of dimly lit as well. And you're right about the whole atmosphere. I mean, I love the sort of episode 1. Does have a real, like you said, Hammer horror feel about it. The way it's shot, I mean, it's brilliantly directed by Dougie Camfield, and the music as well works really well in this story. And I was quite surprised to find out it's stock music, because it sounds to me like it's been composed for the story, because it really fits in with what's going on the screen. But apparently it was stock music, which is surprising. Probably Hammer stock music.
I was surprised at that as well. Yeah,
but it all works really well. I mean, considering it's, like you said, the storyline, it is a fair storyline, but there's not an awful lot in there when you actually look at it, in terms of the actual script. But it does work over 6 episodes. It doesn't sort of feel sort of particularly padded or anything. So, it does all come together to make a really enjoyable story, I think. Yeah.
No, it's great. Absolutely great. And one other thing about the story as well, it's got this really the pacing in this is perfect. I don't know if you've if you've picked up on that, but some of the older Who stuff, some of the middle episodes or the one before the end, they can feel a bit laggy at times. Yeah, they can feel like, we know where we're going with this now. We can see where the story's going, but there just seems to be a lot of conversation going on, and you just want to shift it along a little bit. But I found with this one, the pacing was just really good. I didn't want to just sit there and start fast forward. I wouldn't do that anyway, but I didn't have the urge to like fast forward and like come on. I just found every episode to just go along at such a perfect pace. It got to the end, I was like, oh, it's the end of the episode. I just didn't see it coming. I was just enjoying it so much. And I know a lot of the classic, I say a lot, a few of the classic stories can be a bit. They can drag along a little bit, and you think, come on, no, let's get with it.
Yeah, especially when you've got 6 parts. I think it sometimes can feel like they're having to drag it out. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't feel drawn out to me, the story. I think it's because the cast are good as well. They're quite engaging, and also you've got this mystery. You think someone's betrayed them all the way through. You're trying to guess who the like who the sort of spy is, who the traitor is. And as it turns out, there isn't one, is there? Because that's the thing I'd forgotten. I kept thinking, who is it? I can't remember who it is. And then I thought, oh, yes, it's the reporter. I remember now. But he's not the traitor. There actually isn't one, is there?
No.
It's just that they're sort of paranoid that it's all getting back to the intelligence and stuff. Yeah. But that works really well to keep your interest through the 6 episodes. And also that they keep throwing in little plot devices that keep it fresh. Like the little, what are they? Those wooden figurines or whatever they are. They're actually... bring the Yetis to them.
The little homing beacons.
Beacon, that's it. Yeah, that's sort of brought in quite late, and it keeps things fresh. The Doctor sort of manipulates one so that he can control it, which is brilliant. And poor old Jamie then goes and messes everything up. Oh, I got to feel sorry for Jamie at the end.
Epic fail by Jamie.
It is an epic fail. I love the Doctor's reaction as well. He's really disappointed, isn't he? And that's one of the things I love about Troughton is he pulls this really sort of sad face sometimes, that very end bit where he's just like, he's really disappointed that his plan has been messed up by Jamie, even though poor old Jamie sort of in a way has saved the day, hasn't he? That's one of the things I love about Troughton.
It's he's I know exactly what you mean. I felt that as well. And it was cool.
But I do agree, you're saying about the companions though. I think Jamie works well in this. The only one of the sort of slight niggles, if I've got to sort of pick at the episode, is Victoria. She isn't given anything to do, and she's a bit whiny. I think it's a sort of sign of the times. Really, it's a reflection of when it was made. She's sort of given that stereotypical, girl companion that you got in the sort of 60s, isn't she? She sort of just screams a bit, and she's very whiny in it.
No, she is a little bit,
stuff. Yeah, that's sort of one of the there's very little negative I can say about the story. I thought overall I was really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's one of the few bits I was thinking, Victoria's a bit annoying in this. And she's given nothing to do other than be captured and sort of, moan and scream, Whereas at least Jamie, he doesn't get that much to do, but he does get a few good bits, like the bit at the end, which is good. So... But they work well, this TARDIS team, don't they? I like the 3 of them together.
Yes, they were a good TARDIS team. And, apart from the blunder at the end by Jamie and the little bit of Victoria being a bit whiny and a bit like, oh, no, quite a lot. They're really cool. There's one guy that I really, really enjoyed in this.
Oh, I wonder, I'm wondering if it's the same. I was just about to mention someone as well. I wonder if it's the same person.
Probably. Jack Watling. Professor Travers.
Yes.
How cool was he?
Brilliant.
Really, really good. I was captivated by him as soon as his scene at the very beginning. He just had that classic old grumpy British guy kind of thing of going for it. It was just so funny to watch. I don't think he meant to come across as funny, but he was just so enjoyable. Really good.
Yeah, I thought the same actually. In fact, that was my next note. I thought he was brilliant, and he gives, like you said, he gives a bit of humour to it, and I don't know if it's intentional or not. But I also like it when he's possessed. I think he plays it really well. When he's being controlled, he's actually really creepy, isn't he? It's like sort of the Travers is under control from the Great Intelligence, and but he's brilliant in it. Really good. What was the actor's name?
Jack Watling.
Jack Watley, yeah, really, really good.
He was awesome. Yeah.
In fact, you're right. All the cast were good. I thought Anne was quite good. I was convinced she was the traitor for quite a while. Actually, I was thinking, she's the traitor. She's trying to get him back and that sort of thing. She was good, and the soldiers are all good. There's a couple of sort of accents going on in there, isn't there? With the soldiers. Who's the guy who keeps saying, "I'm just a driver"? He does it in Welsh. I can't.
Mr. Evans. You don't actually know his first name. Is just Driver Evans.
Evans.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a bit of comic relief, wasn't he? He was like the scaredy cat, foot soldier that was. He was always hiding away, wasn't he? There was a funny scene where the colonel comes in with another soldier and he's hiding behind the board, and you can see his legs underneath.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Will you come out?"
Nicholas caught his straight come out from behind there.
That's it.
Yeah. I love all that.
I was going to say, I thought it was brilliant that he thought he could hide behind there, but you could see like the bottom half of his body.
2 legs. Yeah. I was just going to say, is this the first time you've seen this episode? 'Cause, I mean, obviously, none of us had seen it. Unless you saw it when it first aired, because it's been missing for years, apart from the odd episode. So it's the first time we can actually sort of sit and watch it pretty much as a whole. Obviously, part 3 is still missing, but it's the first time you watched it. Is it?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. I just watched the whole thing.
And were you surprised that it cuts in? Because the very start is sort of follows on from Enemy of the World. And did that throw you? Were you thinking, what's going on here? Have I put the wrong? Have I started the wrong episode or anything? Because it starts from sort of being sucked out the TARDIS, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was.
Did that throw you?
No, I just thought it was things like that we've seen in a few episodes where you're just thrown into. You're just thrown. It's a bit like Pyramids of Mars. It's just the Doctor and Sarah Jane are just travelling in the TARDIS, and all of a sudden, she sees like the big. Egyptian horse head or something, whatever it is. So I thought it was just like that. They're just travelling along, and then all of a sudden, just stuff happens.
Oh, I see. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because they tended to do that quite a bit in the sort of 60s and also a bit in the Davison era, which it can sort of be a bit jarring, I think, sometimes if you sort of put it on and it just starts. You're thinking, well, hang on, am I in the middle of an episode? What's going on here? I think John Nathan Turner used to quite like doing it, but yeah, I mean, have you seen Enemy of the World yet?
No, is that one of the other recently found ones?
Yes, it is, and it's brilliant actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend that one a lot.
I've only seen a couple of Troughton ones before this one, so I'll pick that up. Yeah, I've seen The Mind Robber. Oh yeah, which is really cool, and. Another one I've got down. I can't remember what the other one is, but
have you got the War Games? His last one.
No.
All right, because that's 10 episodes.
Wow.
That one.
Wow.
But yeah, another good one to get. It's strange that episode 3 is missing because the other episodes look really good as well. Like the quality, I know they've been cleaned up and whatever, but it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think. The reason for that is because the versions that they found. I'm sure they were converted into 16mm because they were filmed on 35mm. It was the last ever Doctor Who to be filmed on 35mm for location filming anyway. And then from the next one onwards, which would have been Fury of the Deep.
Fury of the Deep. Yeah.
Yep. That would have been filmed on 16mm. But actually, the tapes that they found were actually already converted to 16mm, so it was really easy for them to restore them and clean them up. So,
right,
yeah,
because they do look sharp. And actually, you mentioned in the location just reminds me. I love that. I love seeing the Yetis on the streets of London. I always love it when we go on location, and especially if there's a monster on location, it just brings it. It just makes it so much more real to me. It's like, they're actually on the streets now, And I love that bit where they're having the shootout with the Yetis. It's
really good. It's really well done, actually.
You've probably been to that. Do you know that location is about 2 minutes from Forbidden Planet? I wouldn't be surprised if you... Because I've walked up and down those streets a million times before I even realised that was that location. It's it's just on... It's when you're in Forbidden Planet in central London, it's like... It's 2 minutes from it. I always cut through there to get to Covent Garden. There's like a pub on the corner with an anchor... sign. Yeah, it's next time you go to Forbidden Planet. I can't remember the name of the street, but I'm sure you can find it. It's really cool. And the yard where they have the shootout is obviously still there, and you can see where the shutters were, where they all had the big shootout. So it's quite cool. It's a really busy little square though, because obviously there it's deserted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every time I go there, I get cross because I try and get a cool picture of it, thinking, right, that's the street the Yeti walked down, to get a picture of that, and it's just just steaming with millions of people because it's literally the little crossway that cuts through to Covent Garden, so it's quite a busy little stretch. Next time you're there, I think there's a big Urban Outfitters or something right on the corner, which is if you right opposite the yard where they have the shootout. So
that must have been where they off Shaftesbury Avenue somewhere.
It's you sort of go down Neil's yard. It's down there. I should have had a look before we come on because I love going every time I go to the Forbidden Planet, I sort of always end up walking down there, and I just love the fact I think I just envisage the Yeti walking down the street by the pub, thinking, "Oh, that's where the Yeti was." Perhaps I'll dress up as a Yeti one day and just walk down there. I'll reenact it.
Wow.
Yeah,
you want to be careful. Yeah, you want to be careful, mate.
Why?
It's not getting fired upon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's so many people there. I doubt anyone would even notice.
It was a good scene though. The shootout, yeah, and they look quite cool. I was going to come on to actually. It's before we get on to the review. What did you think of the Yetis, the costumes and stuff like that? They actually look pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a couple of bits where you can sort of see where the costume joins and that, but it kind of works because it's like when the Doctor takes the silver ball, whatever it's called, out to replace, and so there's sort of bits of them that have components, and I think they look good, and they do. There's some good shots as well, like the way it's directed. There's a bit where there's suddenly one right in front of Jamie, and it does sort of make you jump a bit. They do sort of work as a creature. They're not sort of they're not too sort of pantomime or silly, or I think they work quite well.
Yeah, I thought that as well, because sometimes the budget's not always there, is it, to get any decent costumes back in the classic years?
No, that's right. Yeah,
but there was quite a few of them as well. There was 5 or 6.
Yeah, especially on that scene we were just talking about in London. There seems to be quite a few, doesn't there? So,
yeah, and the design of this one changed quite a lot, didn't it, from the Abominable Snowman?
Yeah, do you know what? I forgot to, when I watched episode 1, I meant to look to see, because I have a feeling that the one that's in the museum is a different costume. When the one that comes a lot, not in the museum, the one that's in that guy's house, the very start, when the professor's saying, I want him back, I need him back, you don't know what you're going. I have a feeling that that's the old costume.
Yeah, because it cuts, doesn't it? Yeah.
But I might be wrong, and I meant to look out for that when I watched it again last night, but I completely forgot. But yeah, I think so, because obviously that would tie in with the previous story that it's from. But
you are right, because that whole scene where they're arguing in the museum at the beginning, the Yeti that's just stationary is different to when it starts moving, because the camera kind of changes, it like morphs into another scene where the Yeti starts moving, and then it's a different costume.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Thing.
Yeah, which is cool. It does look good. They've got bigger eyes, I think, is the main thing. They've got like great big eyes, haven't they? The Mark II Yeti, if you like.
Yeah, the Mark II. Yeah.
The Mark II. I've just I couldn't help but I just had a quick look. It's Old Brewer's Yard in Shelton Street in Covent Garden. So it's all around there, all those scenes. When you stood in the middle of this opposite the pub, you'll see what I mean. You've got like streets all around you. They sort of one little crossroad, and all of those streets are where they're walking down. They're sort of cut to make look like different roads, but it's basically just all in that one little square. So it's quite cool.
Okay.
So next time you go to Forbidden Planet, you can have a look at that.
Cool, we'll do.
Yeah.
Rightio. Anything else you want to say before we jump into the out of 10?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a 9.
Okay. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I'd written 8.5, so I'm just slightly under you there.
Okay.
Yeah, but a strong 8.5. I can't quite go to a 9. It might be. It's not really the story's fault, but I think it's because of the missing episode.
Okay.
Right. And also the fact I found Victoria a bit annoying. So that's kind of why I went under. But it's a really strong story, and I really, really enjoyed it.
8.5 for you.
I'm going to go 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 because it was one of those occasions where I watched it from start to finish, every episode, and time just flew by. And I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought Troughton was just brilliant throughout the whole thing. I thought the story was really good. The supporting cast were brilliant, especially Jack Watlin. Even the blunder at the end, I thought Jamie was quite cool in this. I thought Nicholas Courtney was really good. I thought Anne Travers, she was really good. And just everything seemed to work, really. It was one of those really good formulas where all the bits came together, and it was just really good. I really enjoyed it, so I'll definitely watch this one many times in the future. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely got repeat viewing value. Definitely. Yeah, I always enjoy it. Yeah.
So that's going to be so the in terms of Troughton stuff, you reckon Enemy of the World is a good one to check out?
Yeah. I mean, I think only one episode of that survived up until recently, and it was probably the weakest episode. I think that's a 6-episode story, is it? I've forgotten now.
Don't know, buddy.
But it's a good one. That it is very good. I think because I'd only ever seen that one episode, and it's probably the only episode really that's got a bit of padding in it. So it's a shame it's the only one that existed, because it doesn't represent how good a story Enemy of the World is. And Pat Troughton's playing 2 parts. Yeah. And he's just brilliant in it. I mean, it's so good to see him doing 2 different roles. I definitely recommend it. Did we have some comments from people? What did our listeners think of Web of Fear?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I was going to breeze on to wrap the show up and forgot.
I thought you were. I felt you were. Yeah.
Twitter. Our good friend Cousins 2019.
Hello, Cousins.
Yeah, he's but hi. I love the story Web of Fear. It's a great one to introduce Unit, my fave of Troughton. Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think it's my favourite Troughton, but it's definitely one. Yeah, I definitely think it's a good one.
Thanks, Cousins. Over on Facebook, thank you very much for jumping on there. Matthew Thomas. Such an iconic and pretty much perfect story. Eyes glued to the screen while watching. Supporting cast brilliant. Yeti excellent. Setting excellent. So as you can guess, 10 out of 10.
Ooh, 10 out of 10 from Matthew. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. Jace Howes. Great story, great cast. Nice to have the Briggs' first appearance on DVD.
Yeah, that's cool. Hello, Jace. That's my old schoolmate there.
So some big thumbs up all round for the Web of Fear.
Do we have one more from Kai? I haven't got it in front of me, but I know, did Kai McNamely? Oh, he's going to hate me for saying his name wrong. I think he really loved it as well.
You're making me look bad, dude.
Sorry, I haven't got his comment to hand.
Hold on, I have got it here. 1 second. Can't forget Kai.
No, I know he really enjoyed it. That was all. Mind you, I think he did leave a really long comment. But
he did. I'm going to read it, though, because he made the effort to write it, so I'm going to read it. So, I think The Web of Fear is a vast improvement on its preceding episode, The Abominable Snowmen. It's more suspenseful, action-packed and claustrophobic. Patrick Troughton, Fraser Hines and Deborah Watling shine through this story, and the supporting cast are really good. It's unfortunate Nick Courtney's first episode as the Brigadier, or Colonel, is still missing. The great intelligence and the Yetis were used to great effect in the story, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, apart from the Deborah Watling thing, because I just don't think she was on top form in this story. But I think that's more down to the writing, actually. Not really her fault.
Yeah, I agree.
But otherwise, Kai, I totally agree with you, mate.
Yeah, and some common themes as well. People liking the story, the Yeti, Troughton support cast, all seems to be up there with the enjoyable stuff from this one.
Yeah, and also no negative comments. And I'm thinking, actually, even outside of the podcast stuff, whenever I've talked to people about a story, I don't know of any Doctor Who fans that I personally chat to that don't enjoy the story. I think generally it's a really sort of regarded as a really good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Which is unusual, because normally you get a bit of normally there's a bit of a divide, isn't there, on a story? But no, this one seems to get a thumbs up all round.
All round, good stuff. Right, I think that's going to wrap, buddy.
Okay.
So that's episode 24 done. Web of Fear, really good review on that one. 9 out of 10, 8.5 for you.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I probably should go to 9, but I'm going to stick with what I wrote. Because whatever I write down on the pad after the episode, I think I should stick with. Because sometimes when we talk them through, I start thinking, oh, should I go up? Should I go down? but no, that's what I wrote, 8.5.
That's cool.
A strong 8.5.
A strong 8.5, very cool. Thank you very much for sticking with us. And we look forward to talking to you and going through some more Cool Who stuff in episode 25 next week. Jump onto the Facebook page, jump onto Twitter. You can find those links over at the actual podcast page, www.bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk. And you can still put a review in as well if you want to tell us your thoughts on the Web of Fear or any of the other stories that we've reviewed and gone through on past episodes. Just jump on there and tell us what you think. And also check out the Geek's Handbag, Adam's love project. where he reviews everything to do with...
Check out my TARDIS copter skills on my latest video.
Oh, that's really funny. That had me in stitches.
It's amazing that somebody hasn't lost an eye in this household.
Oh, yeah, you need to check it out. The Geek's Handbag. Just do a search for it. You'll find it on YouTube. His latest video is so funny.
Yeah, cool. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, it's really cool. We will see you next time. My name's Gary.
My name's Adam.
And remember, Alonzi!